from January subscriber money. Like the $125 going into this comes from that purely and entirely. Nog is sponsoring the other show matches, the two wrapped around this. So you know that your money is going back into esports, which is kind of cool, I guess. It produces more content. So it's even if you don't have like $125 to donate to, like, hey, you put in $5 a month, we split at 50-50 with Twitch, and you get more awesome show matches like this in the future. But at any rate, a best of 7 underway, and I'm just swapping player locations. We're good to go. So we had a bit of a remake, a bit of a hiccup because Battle.net was being cool, but we're back in the action, guys. The best of 7. I'm Rifkin, joined by Zombie Grub, and I've done enough talking, so Zombie Grub, you kick off these introductions.
In the bottom right, as the pink Zerg player, it is Solar from Samsung Galaxy.
His opponent in the lower left from Axiom Esports with that really cool logo and that taper coming from Gameheart. It's going to be Hearts.
That was good.
Yeah. Of course, one of the fantastic things about today, guys. Again, we talk about the sponsorships for this entire for all the show matches today to death. Nog has been the ones who are sponsoring they sponsored Pig versus Daisy. They are sponsoring Golden versus Select. We put money into this one, but we also let's just all make this into one big blowout event. Like, let's have this go out in one day rather than have like 3 random show matches crop up. So a big shout out to them for getting involved with this. Again, the CEO of Nog will hopefully be on a little bit later to take your questions about the organization. If you guys have anything you want to ask a sponsor, if you've ever been like, you know what, I really wanted to ask Monster this, but I can't get in contact with the energy drinks. Nog is kind of the same thing. They put money into esports. They were sponsoring Love Your Girlfriend for a little while. I guess for whatever reason that stopped. I don't know the skinny of that, but that's a question you can ask them. On Twitter, go to tag NAUGSC2, NAUGSC2, with any questions you have, and we will ask their CEO live when we get him on later. But currently leading the series 2-1 right now. Solar's in a fantastic spot, and even though this is Newkirk Precinct, and even though this is a bit of an older map, I can't say that this map distinctly gives Heart any sort of advantage, just because of the way that Solar has toppled players on this map, specifically in the past.
Yeah, I don't. The only really tough thing about this map is when they get into split map scenarios, which is probably not going to happen. And also, getting that third up can be difficult. Sometimes you see the Zerg player actually take the north third, but that is even worse, I feel. So that's become more and more rare. Of course, the map isn't used anymore. It's really rare now. But, yeah, that's pretty much the only thing. Other than that, it's pretty balanced.
Yeah, just a small correction. I think I just finished saying Heart doesn't have an advantage. I mean, Solar didn't have an advantage coming into this map. Because, of course, he's leading the series, but it's loser's pick, guys. Just worth noting. So this is Heart's map pick. This is his comfort zone. This is the one he specifically wanted. So I think I mixed up those names earlier, but there's the correction.
And that brings up the question, why did Heart pick this map? Is he really just comfortable on it? That could definitely be it. I mean, it was certainly a map that was well used when it was in the map pool. I don't actually remember what the other maps were, but if I did, I'd know for sure if it was just because he was comfortable. Actually, our 6 lings on the way, all of them seem to be attacking the Reaper, though, so not going to split any off.
It's worth noting, too, like, we talked about, we weren't quite sure what the vetoes were in that last game, but confirmed it is Ultra Zim and Beyonce that were vetoed out of the map series. So, Heart was the one who vetoed Ultra Zim. I guess perhaps not preferring those crazy big maps, but still happy with a map like Newkirk.
The other 2 maps were the weird ones, weren't they?
Yes, Xeris Prime, Core Hall City, and Xeris Prime, Core Hall City, and New Polaris Rhapsody, the lava map, were the kind of the wild cards we threw into this. If you guys are unfamiliar with Base Trade TV show matches, by the way, we always try and pick some funny maps with standard maps to like mix it up.
So actually, I'm pretty sure this is just because he knows this map and is comfortable with it. That's why he chose it. But we do have 3 Reapers again, trying to go after the Queen and almost actually got it.
3 Reapers kill Queen. It's just knowledge.
Yeah.
And,
3 Reapers is uncommon, but it is strong.
Well, being driven back for the time being, however. The other Queen's at the front line is going to try and send this one back towards the main to be the Injector, I guess.
Yeah, that's good. Good idea right there.
So
you have Link Speed on the way, so the 3 Reapers, that's why I kind of don't like 3 Reapers, is that they're strong, but only for a very limited amount of time.
Right, there's a big clock on Reapers and their usefulness. Like, metabolic boost, roaches, I mean, there's so many things that easily shut them down.
Yeah, so, metabolic boost at 6 minutes, which actually it came around more like 6:25 anyways, but that shuts any amount of Reapers down. Well, I shouldn't say that because there's only 6 lings. But anyways, Hart did pull back because he knew the timing. He saw the gas timing, so he knew. And he's going to wait for the Hellions, and then he can go and be very, very impactful again. Again, going for the Banshee. You know, I really feel like if he just goes, and actually, it's going to work out really well in this map. Because I was talking about how the third's really hard to take for the Zerg player. Now with such a power punch of units, 3 Reapers, 6 Hellions, and a Banshee, that third, I don't know if it's going to get up.
Well, this is kind of what I was talking about before, like, as far as comfort zone goes on the map, like, Hart played in the Extra Team Strike Up Season 2, and this was a big map, often selected there. Solar, when that was going on, that was kind of like, maybe he's trying to get into an esport, maybe he's like a trainee player for Samsung at the time. I don't know the history of Solar, but, you know, he wasn't exactly this big blowout player that he is right now, back when this map was big and popular.
Yeah, he probably wasn't even on a team, actually. Maybe a training player. But,
yeah, it's a lot more cutthroat in Korea, too. I mean, there's not, like, it's not as many, like, academy teams out there floating around.
No. I mean, there's actually most people don't know about the clan system they have over there, which is actually fairly prominent. I don't know about it in StarCraft 2, though, so really shouldn't talk. It was really prominent in Blue Door. Anyways, you have another Viking as well, so Hart really likes getting this Viking. And, you know, it is horizontal spawns again. I mean, it's the only spawns you can get, obviously, but... that means the Viking's very, very good. It only has 1 line of overlords to kill or get away, and then that opens up a whole world of possibilities in dropping, so it is pretty good. I'm surprised he's not trying to attack the third right now. I feel like he should have gone 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, the Banshee's not been getting a lot of use out of this. I mean, it's going to reveal the Overlord, but great.
Oh, he's waiting for 2 more Hellions. He's actually up to 8 Hellions. He is really trying to make this a powerful attack.
There's a lot of lings coming though, and the Spore Core's already being repositioned, so the Banshee's not going to get a lot of use sadly. These Queens are going to be great for buffering, but this is still a lot of damage coming out.
Look at that Queen go.
We say 8 Hellions, this is 10 Hellions, so forget math for a second. This is still a lot of damage to deal with. If you could micro those little ones back, that would be fantastic, but as we see, no one's really taking the bait on those Reapers. Everyone was focused firing down those Hellions.
Is he really not going to try and do anything more with it? I feel like it's kind of a waste. I mean, the 11-minute rather, medevac attack is going to be strong with this many Hellions, but like you can't pick them up, so they're just going to be like Baneling fodder.
Yeah.
I feel like he should be doing more.
Well, he's going to get some of these Overlord kills. Already got 2 under his belt. Here comes number 3. So again, Solar's kind of been stripped of vision, which as a Zerg player is always a really scary thing because you're used to having like Overlords everywhere, creeps spread out the wazoo, but in the early game like this, that's not a possibility, and the way he's been kept back, it's not like exactly stopped him from spreading creep, but it's not exactly halfway across the map either. So, not exactly blind, but in the dark, I guess, to this attack, and knowing from what angle exactly it comes in until it's already attacking.
Yeah. A little too scared of the amount of lings that come in. Like if he gets them, obviously you can take him on a head-on fight. But if he gets surrounded and the queens are there, that's a big waste of I mean, a lot of minerals, but still a lot of minerals.
Speaking of waste, actually, Heart's lost nothing so far. Just worth noting. I mean, a lot of these Hellions are low. I'm gonna go down very easily, very quickly, but just kind of settled.
He lost Overlords.
No, but Hart hasn't lost anything, is what I'm saying.
Oh, Hart, sorry. Yeah, well, that is kind of weird.
Actually, another Overlord is going to go down almost. He does have that speed bonus finish up here, so perhaps not going to go down. Spore Caller is right there. It looks like this Viking has seen the last of its Overlord kills for the time being. Here in the middle of the map, though, I don't like this. Like, creeps should not be spreading. He's got a big push behind this, but...
Right there. Yeah, he's going to scan anyway, so it doesn't actually matter, but whatever. That scan's so beautiful when it's red.
It is. There's a lot of Banelings behind us, though. I don't know if there's necessarily enough to take this whole army on, because you're kind of forced. You go for the Marines, you go for the Hellions. You don't really have the enough Banelings to go for both. And in this scenario, if he cleans up the Marines, the Mutalisk will do the job to clean it up. So it's going to be hard to maneuver around the Hellions. Ooh, actually, this is huge. These 2 Mutalisks, those should have otherwise died if there was Marines there, but he scouts that there's not. So this actually works out for him in the end. I don't know how Zergli snuck towards the main. He was trying to make some Banelings, I guess, but Hart caught him. That's really, really awkward.
That whole situation was awkward. The drop is actually going to go ahead and commence. I mean, he saw... Actually, maybe he didn't see it, but it is going. And the lings are already there, so never mind. Not going to do a thing. That's so many lings. And...
God, can you imagine if Zerglings could learn to hop over top of each other? Like... or even just like ride each other's backs, so like 2 lings attacking at a time.
They're like, they get more powerful the more you put in each other's backs.
We need some fan art right now. If anyone's an artiste in the crowd. Anyways, engagement in the middle of the map is going to come down. Hellions are chasing off the queens, but again, with so many Hellions having been retained earlier, not only is this fodder for the Banelings like we talked about earlier, but it's going to kill so many of them, plus the Zerglings on their way into the fight. Heart's got so many Marines behind this. Hell, if he even retains half of his Marine count currently, he can still continue pushing, or at least deal with the Mutalisks.
Yeah. He's doing a really good job of cleaning up most of the creep, though. I mean, Solar's trying to push it back again, which is really nice, but big chunks each time. Solar really hesitant to attack into this.
Well, he spread some lings up here to go for counterattacks and try and run around, get on the production, go for the mineral lines, whatever behind this, but I don't know. He might just need every single thing on this side of the map. This is a very awkward sort of, I guess, building debris thing that he's got to sort of maneuver around. Otherwise, this would be like a great engagement for Solar to just move on in.
Lings do get in the main, and I mean, there's that's not enough lings to the production not to be able to handle it, though.
If you could hide too for Banelings again, that'd be cool. What he tried to do earlier, but
it's not gonna happen.
No, it's not.
That would have been worth it had Solar tried to attack right there and Heart messed up.
Oh, Solar doesn't know about the Army of Heart.
How did he just miss that? There
he just barely missed it. So coming from behind, he's gonna get sandwiched with the reinforcements. There's no retreating out of this. Banelings really did not get the connects they needed. Unfortunately, Solar did not have the lings to support this. That was such a terrible position, and he loses almost every single Baneling for, I think, like a bunker? Is that what he got out of that? Like
one bunker. Maybe not even the Marines that were in the bunker. That was pretty bad, and it was because he lost all his Banelings. You know, like
yeah.
If he had identified that Heart was going towards him, maybe he pulls back and then they meet, and that's worse for Heart because he can't have time to split. But not quite happening that way. Solar is on his way up to Hive, however, and he's going to have once again upgrades that match up fairly well to Heart's if he has enough gas, if he can find enough gas to actually afford them. Actually, he's banking quite a lot. Solar is actually not in a bad position.
Let's not forget too, Solar is like this game away from victory if he can take it from Heart.
Yeah.
Or sorry, no, never mind. It's best of 7, not best of 5. I take it back. Ugh.
Oh, that's right.
I got excited.
I forgot that too. Sorry.
Yeah. Joppa over here in the top right is not getting a lot done, sadly.
It takes away the mutas, but
I'm loving the Marauders on the front lines. Like, these are supposed to be soaking the Banelings, but Solar is not falling for it. Like, he's just leaving the Lings on. He's pulling the Banelings back manually. The Marauders aren't getting a lot done. Dropping the main now going off. Not going to kill the Spire anytime soon. Although if he can kill this, that'll be huge.
I think he is going to get it. Yeah,
so
late. Come back. He's going to get it. That's +2, not going to happen. It's also going to be lack of mutas, so he's going to have to be careful with how he uses them now. Attack happens at the front at the third.
Oh, Blue Flame Hellbat's getting involved too.
I wanted to mention that after the attack, and the attack is still, it's kind of going on. No one really wants to commit, but I think Solar is the one that is going to win out. So Heart does back up, and yeah, Heart is doing that thing. Like, he wasn't actually getting a whole lot of Widow Mines during the entire part of the game, but now he's switching over straight into Blue Flame Helen, and I really like it, or Hellbat rather.
Yeah, and the thing about the Hellbats too, for those who I guess like confused as to why we're getting excited about this, you don't see them as often anymore. They were nerfed, they were changed, whatever. The reality is though, we've talked about this compared to Widow Mines, they're like guaranteed damage. They're guaranteed to soak Banelings. They're guaranteed to do a ton of damage to Zerglings, but they've got a lower top end risk gamble. Like, it's the safer way to go for doing damage, but you're never gonna get that one sick Widow Mine hit that ends the game with a Hellbat.
Yeah. I really feel like the trade-off they get for how many Banelings they soak up is well worth it. And that's like, unlike Marauders, even if they don't soak up the Banelings, even if they're controlling their Banelings correctly, the splash image still really works out in your favor. So the only problem is that it doesn't attack air, and actually, big mess up by Heart right there.
Bad engagement by Heart, yeah. But he drops in the main while this, or tries to drop in the main while this is going on. Solar was ready to defend it. But yeah, it's like it's the difference of 2 Banelings to kill a Marine to 4 Banelings to kill a Hellbat, guys. And the Hellbat itself, if it goes unchecked, deals so much damage that it's just straight up absurd. But Mutalisks will clean up these medevacs. Heart is going to find himself in a bit of trouble here because Solar's been able to do, honestly, quite a lot with almost no Mutalisks. Now he's got 15 more on the way. He's finally got that Spire established. He's starting to get map control as he takes these extra bases. And Heart, who's just been constantly pressuring this whole game, it kind of feels like he's getting no value from it.
Yeah, he's having a tough time maxing out, and Solar still has a bank, and he's maxed.
Solar keeps peaking around like 900 APM. I just want to throw that out there. Like, this guy is ridiculous.
See, I don't have the game Heart. I can't see the APM. Darn it.
I thought you were supposed to turn it on last game.
I forgot.
But okay, the Mutalisks count is pretty high. Like, when you start reaching around 30, that's when it gets like danger zone, right? Like, cue the music. But if you get above 30 Mutalisks, you get to that point where you can actually start taking on Marines to some extent. Like, you can go for missile turret dives. Nothing really bothers you. Oh, I like these 2 Widow Mines, though. This'll still spook.
Last time.
This will spook Solar, but it's not going to kill him.
They actually went off last time, still not going, not dying. I'm surprised that Solar's not producing an Overseer to go ahead and take those out. Ooh, the Thor!
Thor's, yeah!
You're already so low, that was actually really dangerous. And it's very important that Hart is getting that Thor, because with the Hellbats and no Widow Mines, his anti-air, even though he has a lot of Marines is still drastically reduced. So he needs, 1 or 2 Thors in there as well. And I feel like that's actually a really big reason, like, besides me just being good in general, Solar did invest in the 15 at a time, is because he saw that the Hellbats were being produced. And they're going to be very effective after the Marines die.
Well, drop of the mains distracted the Mutalisks. The drop of the 3rd distracted a lot of the Lings. So Hart finds himself in a pretty good position here in the middle of the map initially, but still, Solar's got 29 Banelings. This is a really overwhelming amount to deal with. Like, you have to spread perfectly. And if you spread too much, all of a sudden the Mutalisks are a big problem once again.
Right, yeah, exactly. And the Mutalisks are doing a good job clearing us all up, making sure that Solar doesn't have to spread his units, like his actual ground units away. But Solar, he's on 5 bases now, isn't he? Yep, he's on 5 bases. So is Hart. So, like, neither of them are really starving, but look at the bank. So Hart's not starving, but he doesn't have a bank that if he does lose an army, he's not going to be able to rebuild it.
Well, Queen's team picked off here in the middle of the map, looking to push forward. Here come the Banelings into a very bad choke against these Hellbats. Looks like Hart will actually stave him off for now. But again, Hart, I gotta give it to him. He's like not killing any bases of Solar, but he's still expanding himself. He's on 5 bases almost. Like, he's not doing too bad behind this.
Thing is it's actually, I think Solar's actually really afraid of pushing into this army now with the Hellbats and the Marauders. He's like, I need so many Banelings to deal with this.
If he would just go full on Hyun and make every single Zergling a Baneling, like, then even Marauders and Thors wouldn't matter.
That's a good way to deal with it, because in order to deal with that, you need splash damage, which that's not.
He keeps
Hellbats
going in. Like, this tentativeness out of Solar is almost scary to watch, because it's costing him a lot in these engagements. But with some more Hellbats here, Marines just need to live. If the Marines live, Mutalisks will die. We see him spreading desperately to stay away from these Banelings. Heart's control is so good right now.
Wow. It's just barely not enough.
Barely not enough, yeah. So many Marauders and Hellbats get out of this, but as pointed out before, they can't shoot up, so Mutalisks are going to clean them up for free. Good game. Heart takes on the Banelings but still loses. It's so depressing to see, but now 3-1 in the favor of Solar. Now he's actually 1 game away from victory.